Hey, to me, Raj Badin here on Leica Radio's Drive Time Show, sponsored by ZTV. And here with me, I have got someone who's been kind of sought over. I know there's been a lot of people that have been asking about this very gentleman who joins me for the first time here on Leica Radio. It is none other than the star from the show Ishq Mein Marjama Season 2, Rahul Sudhir, who joins me here. Rahul, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm doing great, Raj. Thank you so much for inviting me here. And a big hello to all the people listening.
There's a lot of people that you need to say hello to because there's a lot of, there's an army of fans that have been asking for an interview with you. You know that?
Well, that's, it's astounding, it's crazy, and it's also bewildering at times.
Rahul, how's it been? Because I think Ishq Mein Marjama, I think that show, I don't know, it did something to you and it's just changed a lot of things. The show was a grand success. Unfortunately, they decided to take it off from the TV screens and put it onto digital. But the amount of love you received from that particular show has been unprecedented. So what would you like to say to the fans that were watching that show and gave it so much love?
Oh, man, I don't know. I think people have become kind over a period of time. I think 2020 people realized it's better to be kind. So I think, yeah, that was the first TV show they saw post the lockdown in India.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing they were like, okay, there's this guy. Looks kind of different, but I think we can be kind to him. So yeah.
I remember actually because there was the actual press conference that I was invited to, and it was one of the first shows that was launched. Actually, I think it was the first original show that was launched post the pandemic, post the lockdown, and there was a lot of kind of curiosity surrounding it. There was some people saying, "Oh, is it going to be able to match up to the levels of the first season?" But it's something that has created, I mean, that kind of connect was there with the viewers, which was brilliant. But why do you think the show worked so well? What do you think it was about the concept of the show?
I think the dynamics were set very well. And I would want to give credit to the makers for that. I mean, there is absolutely no doubt the way the story panned out, over a period of time and the way they had written it. And the characters were very, 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 very different from what you would regularly see on a TV show. So the setup was pretty urban, and the characters were flawed, and everybody had their weaknesses. So I guess at the end of the day, it was more relatable. It felt like they were human beings and not people living in a platonic world.
Yeah. Yeah, it is true. And I think it was a complete distraction, complete a differentiation to what they were watching on TV prior to the lockdown as well.
Yes, absolutely. It was like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. And how do you feel now that the show is off air? I mean, how much are you missing it?
Well, we can contemplate, we can cherish the memories and all the beautiful things around it and what it did for me especially. I don't know about the other actors. That the other actors were already established and big actors. So for what it did to me, I guess, oh my God, man, you can just look back and just wonder what the hell just happened to me.
And how exciting was it for you to play the role of Vansh? Is it like an actor's dream? Because sometimes you get these roles and you think, actually, I'm not sure whether it's going to be as exciting as it's written on the paper. But was it something that kind of lived up to your expectations?
Of course. I mean, I have never seen an actor on Indian television making his entry on a yacht.
Yeah.
And the kind of grandeur they had established around the character, man, the whole vibe of mystery and everything was built and created around this one character. And I mean I still think about it sometimes and I just wonder, how did I get this part?
Yeah. It
was not supposed to happen that way. It was supposed to go to some huge TV actor from a very established one. A newcomer definitely was not supposed to be on the cards. Mm-hmm. But then they saw my audition and they liked it, and I can't believe they liked it because it just didn't. That wasn't the scheme of things. I mean, that wasn't the way it was supposed to be planned. But I think something really crazy happened, and I don't know. They ended up liking it, and yeah, it worked.
Wow.
And then the audience liked it. I mean, there's one thing that the makers like it or the channel likes it, but when the audience likes it, I mean, you're like, okay, maybe maybe you've ticked something. You've pressed the right buttons and you've ticked the right nerves, and you made some sense to people. Yeah. The masses in general.
Yeah. Was there anything that you didn't like about your character? Was there anything that you thought, oh man, I'm not too sure about this part of Vansh?
think they didn't let me go brutal.
Yeah.
You know, on paper he was supposed to be a very brutal character. Okay,
Yeah.
like he kills people, and he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and there are certain restrictions when we do, especially for a lead actor, on a show. He can't be negative, sort of. There's this concept of being trying to keep him in a positive light with all the negativity that he's in and all the things that he does. So I think on television it just sort of curbed my the brutality of the character, how dangerous he could get. Like there's one thing about talking about being dangerous, but then there's actually a dangerous guy who doesn't say anything, just shoots or maybe just kills or whatever, man.
Yeah.
So the actions, I think that was the missing link of the entire thing, and I think that's one thing I missed. And I was like, oh gosh, I wish they had let me do it, and then they could somehow pull it back into the positive light.
Yeah. Rahul, I mean, you mentioned obviously you're fairly new in the industry, in the television industry. I mean, what would you say in terms of how your life has changed, and especially after taking, I think, this show, and there was also Raja Betta you did as well on ZTV.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, the experience, and how has life kind of changed for you?
Well, I mean, I was this fresh chap in Mumbai, and I don't technically know a lot of people. I still don't. And, I ended up working with one of the best film directors, Mr. Vikram Bhatt, his production house, and I did a few web series. And then I got picked for Raja Betta. Now, Raja Betta is a very, it's polar opposites to what Vansh was in Ishme Mar Jawan.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's the good guy, that guy who's trying to make things work, and, he's trying to maintain relationships with the family. That was a different kind of struggle.
But this is sorry to stop you. So, that's one thing that I noticed. When I saw the promotions of Ishme Mar Jawan, I had to double check. Is this the same guy that was playing the kind of boy next door, the same Rahul that was in Raja Betta, that's now going to be appearing as the one with this kind of dark shaded kind of side to him that we've not seen before in Ishme Mar Jawan? I mean, I was quite surprised. So yeah, I mean, I can see that there was complete contrasting roles.
Yeah, I mean, and the worst fear of an actor is when you're new, they sort of assume that the character is the actor.
Yeah.
If you're playing the good guy, the sweet guy, the boy next door, they suddenly start seeing you in that light, and you normally get casted for roles which are very similar.
Yeah.
And when this came, it had this vibe about it, and I was like, okay, wow, I better nail this one. It'll be something great to perform, and it's going to be so different from my last character. So, it'll be another opportunity to be out there. So yeah, I mean, that was crazy. I think that's where I got lucky, actually, to be able to play two different contrasting characters in 2 years.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the makers of Marjama probably thought, hang on, this guy looks too good to be true. I think we're going to use him and try to put some negativity in him, and let's flip his character around completely with Marjama when they saw you in Raja Betta.
No. Actually, I don't think they saw me with that light.
Okay.
In that light at all. And, when I was approached, I was not approached for lunch. And, something in me is like, I want to play this guy. I want to play the baddie. Give me the bad part. Give me that. That sounds more exciting. It feels more exciting. And they were like a little hesitant to let me audition. They were like, come on, man. What are you thinking? But I was like, no, let me audition for that. So they said, okay, go ahead. Don't blame me later. But I was like, okay, no issues. I'll take that chance. So when they saw the audition, they were like, yeah, something's working. Let's do a look test tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, it was sort of a struggle, but it totally was worth it.
That is great. That's good to know. So which character did you actually go for? What was the original choice for you?
Oh, let's not talk about that.
I'm quite intrigued by that, actually.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Okay. So what's next for you? Because you play the good guy, you play the bad guy. What's next?
And that's the challenging part. Now, what do you do now? So that's even a bigger challenge than playing a character.
That's true.
The biggest challenge is to find something where you're very, very interested in going to work each and every day. Because normally it consumes most of your life. So 12 hours you're on a set. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. you're there. That is your family. That is something you have to really, really adore and like. Otherwise, you can't continue doing it for a year or 2 years or whatever.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I'm still looking. I hope I get something good.
So what's your next plan now? I mean, how's life been with you since Ishq Mein Marjama finished, and now in terms of scripts that you've been looking at, has there been anything that's been I don't know, enticing enough for you to take on?
Well, I wouldn't look at it. I wouldn't want to sound so arrogant just because one show worked. See, the whole. I believe in satisfying my senses. I believe in satisfying my palate, my gut, my stomach, and everything around it. I really want to go out there and enjoy it. If I don't feel that it's not going to be enjoyable, then it really scares me because I have to continue doing it for a long time. So I have to have that vibe about it. I have to have that gut feeling about it. Once I have it, then I can completely focus and devote myself to it, and I can forget everything. So there's no personal life. That's basically true. Once you're in a TV show.
Yeah.
But everything has to be worth it, so that you forget everything around you.
So, what about plans for travelling now that travel corridors have opened again, especially in the UK? I know there's a whole lot of fans that are waiting for you in the UK, in London in particular. What's your plans like?
Man, that's very fascinating and flattering to hear. But I don't have a passport.
Oh God, okay, that would help.
Yeah, I mean, at least I can always tell them once I make one, I'll try and see. But yeah, I hope we can get rid of the virus situation, and that'd be a huge relief to all of us, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe then we can plan something.
Okay. Rahul, I just want to say it's been a pleasure talking to you. You know that. You're such a quirky kind of person. I was looking at some of your Instagram photos. I was thinking, hang on a sec, this guy looks pretty moody to me. Don't know what kind of interview I'm going to get. But far from it.
No, it's my pleasure. It's a big honor for me to be here and speaking to people. It's great. It's just crazy.
There's a whole lot of fans. Like I said to you, I mean, I'm sure your Insta must have gone crazy. Your Twitter must have gone. Well, you're not on Twitter, but on my Twitter it went crazy. There's a lot of fans, not just in the UK, but around the world, and they're all sending you lots of love. In fact, anything that's little of negativity that is written, I'm sure that they all just jump on it to kind of annihilate those little things, which is so good to have. It's so good. But I just want to say thank you so much, Rahul, for your time. Have you got a final message for all your fans that are listening at the moment?
Okay. I just want to say, life is short. Do what you love. Enjoy everything, the good and the bad. Make sure you're actually valuing your time because, you don't know about anything about it. There's no guarantee or, any kind of clarity about anything. So just enjoy the uncertainty and the certainty and everything. And I guess if you put your heart to whatever you're doing, something good will always happen. So just just stay safe, take care of your parents, educate yourself well, and kill it.
Oh, that's so sweet. Rahul, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best. Take care.
Thank you so much, Raj. I'll catch up with you soon if I am in London sometime.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.